The time to stand is now. Hey everybody, this is Michael with Asymmetrical Preparedness. There's a lot going on, right? We've seen a lot going on. And it's going to continue to get worse. We have seen and are continuing to see increased crime, violence, prices, shortages, all things leading to not good, right? So, what can we do about it? I say it's time to stand. What do I mean by that? Do I mean get your gear on and go do the things? Not quite yet. Having that stuff ready though, the ability, the training, the capability, the physical capability of doing that is very important. Get your stuff squared away. If you haven't received training, get it now. The time to start training isn't when stuff's going down. You gotta, skills like that take long time, years, to get halfway decent at. Especially if you are a civilian doing it on weekends or every other weekend or something like that, or in your spare time. There will be a need for that. I know it here. Time to make a stand also in withdrawing ourselves from the system. Not playing their game anymore. Not being pawns in their scheme. Cogs in their machine. Self-reliance. Self-sufficiency. Key points. Very key data points right there. Growing your own food. It's almost, summer's getting end of over. We can't really plant. False. Fall garden. You can plant. And depending on where you live, you may be able to plant more or less. But you can plant something. If you got a guerrilla garden, do that. Raising your own animals. Key. Prepping. Stockpiling food. Water. Locating sources of water. All vital points. I've talked about that word starts with an M that is negative connotation, but it comes from the second. There are bad examples of that, but that's not a negative or a bad thing. That's our birthright. But those kind of groups by themselves, if they're not prepared via food storage, supplies, medical, etc., are not going to be much good or much usefulness. They have to have supplies. We, as preppers, can provide that and maybe supplement them with the other needs that a group like that would need in constitutional parameters. We need to have the ability to protect ourselves and our families and our communities from increased crime, increased threats of violence, increased attacks on our fragile infrastructure. We are being pushed towards war. That's going to happen. And that will make things exponentially worse. Because then we won't have the inputs. Those exports from other countries that we have as inputs, we'll have fewer of those. Because anytime you're in a conflict like that, shipping is affected. Plane, air travel is affected, etc. Borders are secured. A lot of other things happen that go along with that. We need to, I encourage you to, please do everything you can to be part of the solution, not part of the problem. Don't expect to go to the government and say, "May I please?" No, that's not the answer. Stand up. Be strong. Set yourself and your family up for success. Sorry, I'm still getting over this cold a little bit. You got to take care of yourselves. You got to provide for yourselves. Going to others or relying on others is not the answer. We're preppers here. We take care of ourselves. We provide for our own means and needs. These are troubled times. And they're not getting any better. There's no end in sight. We're basically, like a lot of people talk about tipping point and stuff like that. We're already past the tipping point in my mind. We're already on that either up slope or down slope. Whatever is going to happen. I think it's a down slope right now. I think there will become a time when we will need to stand, we the people, because government is not going to fix this. Government is not the answer. Government is the problem, right? To quote Ronald Reagan. I don't have all the answers. I encourage you guys to take a long, hard look at your supplies, at your skills, your abilities, your physical fitness, your diet, your overall health, and everything you possibly can to place yourself either into or more firmly into the asset column instead of liability column. You don't want to be a liability. You don't want to go to a FEMA camp. You don't want to go to the government and expect them to take care of you because they're not going to. You also don't want to be a burden on your family and your neighborhood and your friends and your tribe. Building tribe is key for that. I've said many times, I have some capabilities. Training, practice, some good skill sets. But I can't do it by myself. I can't set proper security on even my simple property by myself. Because A, I can't stay awake 24 hours a day. C, I can't see 360 degrees in my perimeter because I can't be in all places at once. There are ways you can mitigate that, and I have. As far as sensors, alarm systems, lights, motion sensor, there's a lot to it. Okay, yes, there are some things you can do. But group is still important. Your mutual assistance group, your tribe. Look back to the Great Depression. How many families stayed in individual families in individual residences? Or compared to how many people gathered together in larger families, larger groups to help each other out, to share the burdens, to share the workload, to provide for their families. That's the way it's going to be. It will shift back to that, which I think would be a good thing because people, families kind of they've grown apart. It'll bring more people together. It'll bring back those things that used to be important, like interpersonal communications, how to deal with other people, how to deal with problems. You can't just call law enforcement. You shouldn't do that anyway. Take care of your own problems. Step up, be a man, be a woman. Be a good, solid person that can take care of your own business. Don't rely on others to fix your problems for you. You fix your problems. Now, some of you may not want to hear that, but, it comes down to the fact of you got to do it. You got to get outside your comfort zone. You got to do the difficult things. You can't rely on others unless they're a tribe and they've proven themselves to you. And you've proven yourself to them. Hopefully you are. There are many opportunities for tribe anywhere. You talk to your mail lady, your mailman, your whatever, your neighbors. I have found through doing things like that my neighbor right there across, closest neighbor, is 100% like-minded. Two more neighbors right down here are also, I wouldn't say 100%, but they're right there. Also, my mail lady, just from normal conversations, she is right there. Now, she doesn't live right here, but she's in the general area. Because you never know who could become part of your tribe. You never know who that key pivotal point or that person's going to be or what skill sets they have. You don't necessarily know unless you get out there and talk to people. We're going to have to pull together. We're also going to have to be willing to and able and strong enough to make a stand when need be. We need to be strong physically, our bodies, via physical fitness and eating right. We need to be strong mentally, because mental game is vital You got to be smart. You got to be able to think fast. You got to be able to think quick. You got to be able to think on your feet dynamically and make good decisions in a very timely manner. You also need to be, I feel, prepared spiritually, because He is there for us. And I forgot again, I always do, please subscribe. Be one of the cool kids. Join Team AP. Thumbs up, share the videos, comment below. And if you want to see more videos about the tactical side of things and other more in-depth discussions and stuff, check us out on Patreon. Links in the description below. $1 a month. Hundreds of good videos, good content there. Yes. But anyway, spirituality is very important. Going to Him in prayer. And so if you have those three things, your physical preparedness, your mental preparedness, and your spiritual preparedness, you will be much better equipped to deal with hard times, with tough times, with doing things that are difficult to do, getting outside your comfort zone, being there for others, interacting with others, making tough choices, correct tough choices in a dynamic and ever-changing environment. These are all skills that I learned in the military. But you can't just learn something. You've got to practice them all the time. So practice this stuff. It's vital. There will come a time very soon where you'll need to make a choice to stand or to go, please, may I, and get in line at a FEMA camp. Not me. Have a wonderful day, and blessings to you and yours.